Hey there everybody, I just wanted to talk a little bit about one of my most favorite things in the entire world. Top 10? Maybe not. Top 100? Yeah, it's probably in there somewhere. So watch along with me and maybe it will become one of your favorite things too.
The Earth is doomed. An evil space virus has invaded the planet, creating horrifying mutant monsters. But one man, Shodo, using his Delta Plasma Pendant, transforms into Ultraman, defender of the universe, 20 stories high. Only Ultraman can save the Earth from menacing Machaba, slimy two-headed Bogan, and fire-breathing Garukadan. I am Ultraman. Ultraman, new from DreamWorks.
Most reliably found, at least in my experience, at the Japanese 7-Eleven and 7-Eleven competitor Family Mart, although I'm sure other shops carry them too. The Mandarake and in Akihabara had a whole case full of them, a whole shelf or two of these figures. And looking back in retrospect, I kind of wish I had picked them all up and just bought them all, you know. And what you are seeing here, what I'm showing you on the screen here, is merely a fraction of the characters and figures they have available. What you're seeing here is mostly older sets, although they've branched out into, they've gone all the way up to like the more modern Kamen Riders and Ultraman series. And that is one of the reasons why I adore this line so much, is because of the amount and the variety of characters that you get in these Kamen Rider and Ultraman lines, and there's even Super Sentai lines, which I don't really have a whole lot of those. I've always been more partial to the old school Ultraman and Kamen Rider stuff, but I just think these things they're tremendous in my opinion. They're great. So let's take a closer look and maybe you'll get a better understanding of why I feel that way.
がやってきたライダーバロン嵐
良い秘密がみんなわかるぞ
頑張れ改造人間3つセットで新発売
They come packaged in a neat little black box, although the Super Sentai are I think in a brown box. They've got the I'm sure you've seen many retail products like this, packaged like this. Has the little tearaway cardboard on the side. Just peel that off. Pop open the top. And here you can see kind of what I was saying about the another example of the variety of figures that they offer. So yeah, a neat little display for your retail shelf. Your 7-Eleven shelf. And then the actual boxes have a little tab that you pop open, put your thumb through. As you can see, this one's already been opened. As I was prepping, taking a look. It looks like it's in a blind box kind of format, but it's really not. Some sets are a little more vague, but you can usually determine by the markings on the top or the bottom which figure is in there if it doesn't show explicitly or expressly on the box itself. Packaged in a little sectioned plastic bag. Generally the hands are separate, and then the body, and then the head. No, a little disturbing. But yeah, much like Microman figures, there's like a assortment of hands with various punching, chopping, and grasping features. So you can kind of choose which one you want to use depending on what pose you were looking to achieve. But yeah, they've got this kind of assortment of hands that even have a little stand that works very much like a Takara Microman figure, and they often come with their signature weapons and items like that as accessories, and you just put them together. Pop the little head on, pop the hands on, whichever hands you choose, and attach the head. And you've got yourself a neat little Ultraman or Kamen Rider faction figure. The articulation is pretty good. I mean, once again, these are on the shelf for probably the equivalent of about $5 or $6. If you buy them from overseas, you're probably going to end up paying twice as much, about $10 per figure. You know, I get that. the cost of buying imported goods. But yeah, for that price, it's a really nice figure. I mean, they look great. Look at it. You've got all kinds of, just the sculpting is great. You've got such variety, and the amount of detail on a figure this size and this price point is just really impressive, and I respect that. I respect that a lot. They also brought out a Dragon Ball Z line. I don't know if they're still making those or not, but they are, once again, inexplicably, scaled smaller than the other figures. I can't quite figure out what the idea was behind that, or the reasoning behind that. And they will also cost you 15 to 20 bucks. So instead of being in that like $5 price range, they're 2 to 3 times more than that. Give me some consistency, guys. Give me some consistency. Another spectacular thing that they did was they brought out a special pack based on the Infinity Force cartoon series, which has the classic characters of Kashan, or Kashan if you prefer, Tekkaman, the old school Tekkaman, not Tekkaman Blade, Hurricane Polymer, and Ken the Eagle, your classic Gatchaman hero. So how cool is that? And it really is probably some of their best figures they've made. They're pretty impressive. The only weird thing about them is they come basically bagged like the other standard figures, just in this special box. So there's like they're not cradled in there neatly. As I mentioned earlier, they have their signature weapons and things like that. Very cool. So glad these exist. They are excellent. Let's take a look at some comparisons. I mentioned in the Gachapon video when I brought in basically this Ultraman figure. When talking about this figure, I conflated Monster Arts as being a Revoltech line. So I'm sure all the super collectors were tut-tutting at my mistake there. Yeah, I accidentally, mistakenly conflated 2 separate lines. Anyway, but as you can see, this line, these figures would line up really well with a Revoltech Gamera. So, I mean, I'm tempted to bust this out of the package and put them on the shelf like they're ready to throw down, because it just makes a great visual. One of those dream matches, or team-ups, if you prefer. With some other size comparisons, we have a Kiwami Damashi, I believe that's how I'm saying it correctly, SIC,
Wicked sick.
Kamen Rider Hibiki action figure. I'm probably saying all of that wrong, but kind of scaled a little bit larger than the Shodo figures. And here we have an actual Microman action figure for comparison. You can probably guess why I chose this one. Fits in pretty well with the general theme of the video. Fits in nicely with those. And these will fit in nicely with pretty much all of your action figures in this scale. Here they are with a DD Panoramation. Pegasus Seiya from Saint Seiya. So how cool is that? Pretty spectacular. And then, just for a bit of fun, some of the Band Presto Kamen Rider and other figures. So as you can tell, definitely one of my favorite things. And now maybe they will be one of your favorite things too. The variety and the catalog, the depth to which this line has provided. Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Dragon Ball Z, they even do some Digimon figures. Super Sentai. The only complaint I could make maybe is branch out into even more franchises. Kikaider, I would love to see those characters in this line. That would be fantastic. So yeah, that's the only suggestion I can make. So yeah, this action figure line, in case you haven't been able to tell, in my book is A+, blue ribbon, gold star. I really have no complaints whatsoever. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you for watching. And until next time, I will see ya.